Okay, so now what we're going to do is work this magic but on a single object. What I'd like you to do is select all your stuff, all the joints, all the mesh, come up here to skin and hit unbind skin, and that'll take the skin off of it. And now if you scroll through your animation, you can see that I did not do that. I missed some of the stuff. One more time. U through U, skin, unbind skin, and the mesh should all be separated from the skin. Keep the animation and stay on frame 1, right? Now I'm going to take all the meshes, which are all these gray iconed ones, not any of the purple ones, right? We're not doing any purple, we're just doing the gray ones here. And I want to go into polygon modeling, and I'm going to combine them using this functionality here, the little circle with the 2 squares in it. I'm going to go combined and make that one object. And then if once you've made that one object, you can see it's very cranky here and has all this stuff. We want to go edit, delete by type, history, and that gets rid of all that stuff. And we'd also want to, if we look over here, it's already, just the fact that we combine this into one object has already reset it to 0, so we don't need to freeze the transforms. But we need to check. Okay, so now what we want to do is select, I'm going to name this Boxman, because this mesh is now a single object, Boxman. And I want to select that mesh and all of these skeleton pieces, and we're going to reskin it. I'm going to go skin, bind skin, and I'm going to scroll through my animation again, and you can see that it did a pretty good job of doing stuff. Maya does a pretty good job of skinning these days, but you have a bunch of kind of joints that are a little out of whack. So now what I'd like you to do, spend the rest of the time, is fixing this once you get to this point. And you do that by selecting Boxman here and selecting your weight painter, and then starting, find stuff that's like the head doesn't need anything, the neck seems okay. Let's start with the pelvis, because it's way out of control. So I'm going to select the pelvis, and I'd like to paint these weights back to being with it. Now you can't hit flood on here because the whole body will flood, and it'll be only attached to the pelvis. Like if I hit flood right now, sorry, if I turned up the volume and hit flood, you can see now that the entire mesh is not moving anymore. It's now only aligned to the pelvis. So what we want to do is we want to turn the volume down a little bit, because we don't want it to grab, you'll accidentally grab other stuff while you're doing this. And then we want to paint the weights, right, where I'm painting these little corners, the vertexes in the corners, to kind of match up with the pelvis. I have pelvis selected, and I'd like this to be like it was before, right, where it was just a solid box. And you can go back here to the binding pose, and it might be a little easier to see those corners because they're not being distorted. Oh, look, it's my wife. And because I didn't animate the pelvis, it's standing still. So now we can do the same thing. We can select the spine, for instance, this one, and we can paint the spines thing. Oops, got a little bit of the arm. Don't want to do that. Got to be careful. And the more you paint, you're really painting the vertexes, right? So the little tiny dots that hold the corners together. And that's why I'm not painting here, because this doesn't matter. It's only where these lines come together that you want to paint, because that's the only thing that holds value for this. And now you can see that the spine piece is moving okay. So now I can go to this spine piece. Oops. Accidentally did that one. Need to paint that one back. Okay, now spine 1. Got to be careful. If you accidentally go down and you see that, then you've ruined your previous one. Right now, that piece is attached to this bone, and we don't want that. We want this one to be all attached to that one, and this one all attached to this one. We're just manually doing it instead of hitting flood, because flood doesn't work on a single object. Alright, does everybody understand what we're up to? Does anybody need help with what we're doing?
It's okay, I'm taking notes.
Great, well, and I'm recording it, so you'll have all that. Okay, so I'd like you to go through this entire object and paint it manually and get him going. I will give you I'll check in with you again at 10. When does this class go to 10:30 or 10? I think it's 10:30, isn't it? Okay, great. Okay, so I'll check in with you again at 10, and we have one more step to this. Although maybe we'll do that next week. I'm thinking this might be enough for your homework, but I'll check in. I'll decide then. Obviously, this is a precursor to then doing this with a regular model, and not just our little Boxman, which is super easy to weight paint, but like something with stuff. Well, I think we'll do that next week, but I'll decide then. So for now, just do this, and this is great homework, and I'll and turn that in, and then if I decide to get saucy with you guys, I'll add the other thing to it. But I think this is a lot to comprehend, and they're good skills to learn for this. Cool. All right, I'll be around if anybody needs me. Just chime in, but I'm going to mute myself.